being recorded now.
Okay. Hello, welcome everyone. In the early days of the Authors Club, its members hosted a series of salons at which they read from their yet-to-be-published work. Among the readers were Arthur Conan Doyle and Jerome K. Jerome. In recent years, we have revived the tradition at the National Liberal Club and now online. You're welcome to add questions to the writers via Zoom chat while they're reading, or comments or constructive feedback. Every author has a slot of about 10 minutes. We will have a mini break after 3 readers, so you'll have time to replenish your glasses, and the whole evening should be finished by 9 o'clock. Please do turn yourselves to mute while entering and leaving Zoom and while listening to the work. Laurel will do her best, but if she hasn't turned you to mute and you see that you're live, then you could be giving background noise while someone's reading. So do try and mute yourselves. And as I said, comments to chat are very welcome. So first up is Timothy Addis, a rhyming translator poet. Widely published, he translates to English from French, Spanish, German, and sometimes Greek. He has 2 books each of Robert Desnos and Jean Cassou, one each of Victor Hugo and Alfonso Reyes, and awards for all these poets. A book of Alberto Arvelo Torrealba, and a book of Shakespeare's 154 sonnets, rewritten without using the letter E. What a tongue twister introduction you gave me, Tim. Anyway, please welcome Tim and his poetry.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm delighted to open this wonderful evening of the Authors Club. And the book of Robert Desnos, which Lucy just mentioned, was, I presented it in one of our splendid lunches in the old days when we could meet for lunch. This is it. It's a very thick book, Robert Desnos, Surrealist, Lover, Resistant. And this is the Shakespeare book she mentioned, Loving by Will. It's all his 154 sonnets. And on facing page, I've rewritten them all without using the letter E, which is much more fun and much easier to follow. I expect many of the people listening knew the sonnets much better than I did. I was astonished to find what was in them. Now, this next Tuesday, for us on Planet Poetry, it's a big day because it's the bicentenary of Keats. And I'm going to start off with a sonnet of Keats. It's Oft have I travelled in the realms of gold. And let me say at once, Uncut Leaves. I don't know which my next book is going to be. So I'm going to tell you, offer to you just a number of poems of mine which have never been in print. That's the solution. So now, Keats, Oft have I travelled in the realms of gold. You'll know that one, but I've redone it without the letter E. So here it is. On first looking into Chapman's translation. I got around, saw lots of lands of gold, good kingdoms, many a top-class duchy too, and sundown islands I was shooting through, which bards as lone stock from Apollo hold. On various occasions I was told about an old blind high-brows Timbuktu, but always was as ignorant as you, until Dan Chapman said it loud and bold. That did it. Say you watch a midnight sky, an unknown rock floats up into your bag, or stout Balboa's sharp rapacity scans your Pacific, plants a Spanish flag, his troops agog with curiosity, dumbstruck upon a Panamanian crag. I've got now 3 animal poems. The first one, or bird poems. The first one is a French one by Claude Roy, who is a fairly recent poet, a duck. It's quite a knack to be a duck. It's quite a knack to be a duck, a swimming duck, a walking duck, a flying duck, a waddling duck, a water duck, a wandering duck. To be a drake on land or lake, it's what compels, it's something else. Ducks on dry land parade, a row. On water, ducks proceed to row. To be a drake can only take time. It's an art that cheers the heart. A duck on land's a cackle box, a water duck's miraculous. Drakes can bring off the walk, run, swim in cattle trough, the plunge of him. The duck of dawn goes trumpeting, the duck of dusk goes tottering. To be a drake on lea or lake, it's quite a knack to be a duck. That was from French. This one is from German, Erich Mühsam. It's called Girl and Peacock. In pretty coat with silken hood and braids and trimmings fancy and pointed collar, there she stood, the small, silk-swaddled Nancy. A splendid peacock chanced to pass with feathers several hundred and saw the little human lass. Both stood and gaped and wondered. Nancy leaned forward in surprise. The lovely bird leaned backward. The two could not believe their eyes. Their postures were quite awkward. He spread his azure feather fan, reciprocally gazing. Each marveled, what's this creature then? How lovely, how amazing. He thought, she's silk. She thought, he's gold. The garb, the plumes perceiving, it's possible they're still on hold, immobile, disbelieving. Another German woman, Masha Kaleko, also from the last century. The title is One Swallow Doesn't Make a What's That? The lime tree with no leaves at the museum is, what's the word, in leaf again, it's green. The blackbirds are reworking their tedium. Spring's here, who knew? You couldn't have foreseen. I can't be scared away by April breezes. That proverb's wrong. I confidently say, one swallow makes a summer and one rose makes a May. My flower pot already sports a crocus. Yes, and my purse is just as good as new. The parts reopened nights for hocus pocus, and 1 + 1 will soon be more than 2. Does once amount to never? No, that's moonshine. With any luck, I confidently say, one swallow makes a summer and one rose makes a May. Wah-hey! And now a little more serious, a Spanish one by Federico Garcia Lorca, who's best known as Lorca, Sonnet of the Sweet Complaint. Let me not lose your wondrous eyes of marble, nor your voice that blows your breath a solitary rose between my teeth at pale moonrise. A stranded trunk without a shoot, dreading and greatly sorrowing, I have not clay nor flower nor fruit to feed my worm of suffering. Are you my secret treasury, my tears of pain, my cross? Am I the lapdog of your mastery? Let me not lose what I have gained, and let your river flow adorned with my sere leaves that fall estranged. Go right back in the past now, the 16th century. This is Pernet Du Guiller, so it looks like Guillet, a French woman writing in Italian, a love poem. Love, blame yourself if I transgressed, daring to put my lips to yours. If stolen kiss must be redressed, permit another which restores. I had such sweetness from your breath, my soul would readily have flown. A second kiss, and it is gone. Then kiss me, if you wish my death. And from the same period, the Spaniard Lope de Vega. Violet calls on me to compose a sonnet. I'm keeping busy. Now I have to frame a sonnet by command of Violet. In sonnets, 14 lines are what you get. The first 3 make it look an easy game. I thought I'd find no word that ends the same, and now I'm halfway through the second set. But thinking forward to the first tercet, the quatrains are comparatively tame. The first tercet is starting, I've just spotted. Off on the right foot first, I entered on it. So in this line, the same is duly slotted. I'm on the second tercet of my sonnet. Already 13 lines are crossed and dotted. Count up. 14, I fancy. Yes, I've done it. And going back even further, Latin poet Horace, a party poem. O Venus, you who reign in Paphos and in Cnidus, treat your beloved Cyprus with disdain. Here's incense. Come, divine queen, and indulge my pretty. Bring to her lovely shrine at a run, Cupid, your hot blood son, nymphs, graces soon undone, young friends aroused, the witty god of fun. And that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. I've got some comments come from chat, from Laurel. Wonderful array of works, uplifting and happy. The Lorca, evergreen, timeless. Guiller makes me think of Casanova. Any other comments from anyone? Now's your chance. You unmute yourselves and speak. No? No comments?
Yep, I particularly enjoyed Rapacious Balboa dumbstruck upon a Panamanian crag. Very nice.
Thank you. I like that too.
Uh,
Because it was Balboa. It wasn't Cortez. It was,
I know.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the tribute to avoiding the letter E, and I remember books like A Void,
Yes, that's the one.
which was the original translation of La Disparition.
That's
Was that
it.
an influence to you?
It did very much. And, you know, in the middle of that book by Perec, he put a number of classic French poems, which he'd rewritten without the letter E. But in the translation by the late Gilbert Adair, who also, he wrote a wonderful article which was titled On First Looking into Chaplin's Humour.
Oh, good.
Anyway, he didn't use the French poems for an English audience. He put in English classics. He put in Ozymandias, all written without the letter E, Milton on his glaucoma, and his big pièce de résistance was Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven, in which quoth the raven nevermore becomes, said my blackbird not again.
Very good. I would imagine that in French, the letter E is as popular as it is in English, is it?
Yes, possibly more so. Yes, it is a great feat of writing. But when you get the knack of it, it's easier. And when you're writing with rhyme, it actually is the case that the English language without the letter E has more chance of getting a rhyme than with, because we have too many vowel sounds, too many smeared vowels, such as smeared and vowel. You can see I've said this before. And if you eliminate those E's, you eliminate that, words start to bang and clang.
I really enjoyed it.
Thank
Good,
you.
thank you. We've also got fantastic set from Kate Birch, enticing from Noel. You wanted more without noticing it. We've got to move on because I've got to keep this snappy to get through 6 of you. So thank you very much, Tim. And Laurel, you may stop recording.